Call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The minutes have been distributed. Is there any changes to the minutes? If hearing none, can I get a motion to adopt the minutes as distributed?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. We'll move on to our public hearings for tonight. We have two. So the first one will be a continuation of the public hearing for the fence law. May I have a motion to open up the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Is there anyone wishing to speak for or against the local fence law? Hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Second one will be the public hearing to consider a local law for flood damage prevention designed to comply with the floodplain management requirements of the National Flood Insurance Program. May I have a motion to open up the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Is there anyone wishing to speak for or against this local law? Hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Citizens' comments.
Hi, Cindy Clark, 27 West Genesee. I wasn't here for the work session, so I don't know what happened there. But on item, we can discuss agenda items, right? Is it?
These are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make comments on agenda.
Okay.
Yes.
On item F, talking about this Jamie Kranz's start date, the 21st. Now, isn't the 21st, wasn't it a holiday?
We're taking this off the agenda.
Yeah, we're
Am I preaching to the choir here? You've already discussed
We're
this?
actually going to take it off.
Remove it from the agenda.
Oh, okay. Well then, there you go. That was easy. Can't you say Patrick's Day?
Any other citizens that may have a comment tonight that would like to speak? Okay.
Chuck, did you want to speak it?
I don't know what I was.
Oh, just come on.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Chuck Birch. I live on Rabbit Lane. And our road does not have any speed limit signs. It's a very similar road to Dingle Hole. And Dingle Hole has 40-mile-an-hour limit. And we've got a lot of new houses and a lot of new people, young people and kids. And there was a man and his wife in a stroller and a couple of dogs walking today on the road. So anyway, I'm not an activist. I thought this was important. And I went around and I've got 40+ signatures from people on our road supporting a road speed limit of 40 miles per hour.
Okay, so, yeah, no, we'll take your petition, and then Ms. Falcone over there can ask for a speed study on the road, correct?
Yes, we would have to do a resolution for that, though.
We have to do a resolution for that.
We could add that.
It's up to you if you want to add it tonight, or if you know.
I mean, it's so innocuous, we should. And Fred, I don't know if you know this, but we don't get to determine the speed limit, the state does. But it has to go through us, so we petition the state to do a speed study. And keep your fingers crossed, we all do. And then 3 or 4 months later, we'll get a letter saying, yes, we've done it, here it is. So,
And we have had Lamson Road, they recently lowered that, so.
Right. I was, we get all our local news from Right Way Hardware, so.
Default to 30.
no, it defaults to 55.
Right, yeah. If there's none, yeah.
So it's,
55.
I'm only basing this on other similar roads like
Yeah.
Rabbit Lane and Dingle Hole are identical roads. And They've got 40 on that, so.
Oh, they'll tell us what the speed limit's gonna be.
Okay. Where Church Road, of course, as I believe is a county road, but that does get a lot more traffic. It is it's designed for, I would say, a higher speed.
Yeah.
And that's at 45. But, anyway, that's my spiel, my petition.
Okay?
Yeah, if you want to give us that, that would be great.
Yeah.
Give that to Dina.
Did you write that motion for us? And then
You're the
we'll
person that
add
makes
it
it.
as,
Yes, thank you.
This is me.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Chuck.
as motion J. I think someone may have, usually when I was a cop, when people couldn't say the alphabet, they were intoxicated. So I had motion G, H, and J. What happened? I think maybe we'll have to give you a sobriety test after this.
It is St. Patrick's Day, Bob.
It's true.
Well, by the way, Kevin, Arlene and Carl are on there, so.
Oh, well, if you got 40, I think you probably covered all of Rabbit Lane.
Pretty much. There's a few houses, they just will not answer the door, or they got a dog with teeth this long.
Not worth it. I
But
carried petitions before I know how that works.
thank you for your
So if they
time.
talk to you, just let them know that we have to petition a state, they'll do a road study, or a speed study, they'll get back to us and state what they think the speed will be on it, but then we'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
It's
you.
a process, so
Right,
you have to.
understand, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, am I done, or?
Yeah, unless you want to talk more, you got a couple more minutes.
Thank you for your.
No, we appreciate your time. Do we have any other citizens that would like to speak tonight? No? We'll move on then to town board comments. We'll start with you tonight. Mr. Moore.
All right, I guess I would just like to say Happy St. Patrick's Day. If you're watching this on PAC, I'm hoping that you're not watching it tonight, that you're watching it another time. If you're watching out in the audience, it's quite a sacrifice you're making. Thank you for being here tonight. Other than that, I'll move on to the agenda.
I echo Mr. Moore's Happy St. Patrick's Day, coming from a 100% Italian stock over here, but it's a favorite holiday of mine and my grandchildren, so we'll move on.
Happy St. Patty's Day as well, and I'll stick to the agenda.
I just want to say that's not green.
Close enough. That's the only green thing I own, so I'm close to green. I'm not Irish, so.
Kudarakis, is it? All right.
Sorry.
I say it's not so. I learned something. See, you learned something every day.
I thought it was, but it's not. I double checked today.
Again, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Hope they enjoyed the weather today and this last few days and the next couple. We'll probably see winter come back, unfortunately, here and there for the next month. I had put motion F on the agenda, but in our work session discussion, we decided to remove it. And other than that, hope everybody stays safe out there and take care. Thank you.
Supervisor's comments. So I got to say something because people are going to say, oh, you beat him up for not having green on. But I do have my O'Brien, my mother's maiden name, pin that's from Ireland here, and that is the crest. So just to let people know. What's that?
We'll let you slide.
That's right, I got it. All right. The other thing I want to talk about is I received a few calls today, and I know the county executive did, and our legislator, Brian May, did as well regarding the smell in your neighborhood. Holly Hill, Baldwin Hill, Clinton Heights.
Abbott's Landing. too.
Abbott's Landing. I made some calls and got in contact with the county executive's office, Mr. May, also WEP, and I know that I received news back that the county executive did get the information and he was working with WEP on that issue. So I don't know what that is, but it's not something that's going to be resolved overnight. But they did hear the complaints from the citizens, and they did respond to it. I'm sure they contacted the spokesperson for that group over there. But just to let you know that, we did, everybody involved from town government all the way up to county government was involved in that, and we were, we are sympathetic to your cause. So, other than that, that's all I have. Department head reports. Mr. Rivazigno.
Happy St. Patrick's Day for another time.
Another time. That's right. Mr. Merrill. Nothing. Mr. Steve Sweetak.
Yes, I would like to say happy St. Patty's Day, and we are out and about, so if you see guys in the road right now, we're doing potholes, and so if you would just be mindful that there's gonna be guys in vests and trucks with lights now, and be patient if the one in your driveway or in front of your driveway is not done yet. We are working ourselves through the entire place, so they should be patched up and easier to drive on.
Great. Anything else?
No.
That's it. Mr. Yeager.
We finished the paperwork for the FEMA grant for Tropical Storm Fred. We're going to get in total $20,100 back from FEMA for the swale erosion problem that we had downstream from the Van Wee Pond outfall. So, as soon as the federal government cuts a check, we'll put it back in the Radisson Drainage District.
Okay. Ms. Falcone.
I'm all set this evening, thank you.
All right. We'll move on to the regular agenda items, and like Mr. Rhodes said, item F has been removed from the agenda, but we added two others, item H, I, and J, when I get it. So, may I have a motion to adopt a local law establishing a fence law in the town of Lysander?
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Dean, I want to make sure that you have the version that says new at the top. Okay, and then I think Tony's going to add a...
Yeah, we have to make some modifications. We'll send it to you.
Jeff is going to give it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you'll sign with me? Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to adopt a local law for flood damage prevention designed to comply with the floodplain management requirements of the National Flood Insurance Program contained in 44 CFR 60.3 A, C, and D.
I'll move it.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I just have, Al, could you let the public know what this is and it pertains to?
So there's been a couple LOMAR letter of map revisions that have been approved by FEMA. This incorporates those maps into our flood damage prevention law. In addition to that, we've added in some additional language that'll help us score some points towards a flood damage prevention program through FEMA that could save residents some money on their homeowners insurance.
Great.
Or flood insurance if they have flood insurance.
If they live in a floodplain, right? Is that how-
Actually, anybody can buy flood insurance.
Oh, okay.
So you don't necessarily have to live in a flood hazard area to buy flood insurance.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the Aqua application to install a fire hydrant in River Grove Phase 2, Hickory Knoll Lane 125, south of, or wait a minute, Hickory Knoll Lane, 125 feet south of Tulip Tree Path.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Is this because of, were we missing one, or is this a
This is a
bill?
new extension,
The new
water
extension.
main extension, yep.
Okay, that's all, that's the only question I had.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to approve the Parks and Recreation Department's purchase of a 2022 New Holland Workmaster 35 tractor with front loader with a trade-in of the 2021 New Holland Workmaster 35 and a balance payment of $4,566.24 from Clinton Tractor and Implement Company.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? I see. So we'll have Mr., why don't you explain to the board what the reasoning behind this is?
So, well, one, we're getting a brand new tractor for $4,500 on trade-in. They're giving us 18 grand for the 21. And the main concern with the 21 is throughout the summer it had a couple of hydraulic issues. So rather than continue with hydraulic issues and run into any further problems, take advantage of their 18,000 on trade-in, get a brand new tractor.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Bob.
No, and like I was going to say, we had this discussion, and sometimes I think that, you know, these tractors usually, they run like a champ from day one, and they continue on for 20 years. So for us to be having hydraulic issues, I thought, when Mr. Merrill brought it to me, I thought it was a prudent choice to maybe, if you got a lemon, to get rid of it, and if we're only putting $4,500 into it, we got an additional
Brand new tractor.
brand new tractor with a warranty, and hopefully we can keep that one for a while.
I don't want to belabor this, but did the warranty take care of the problems that you had?
Yeah.
How serious were they?
Enough that we weren't willing to run the tractor.
Really?
You know, it was leaking pretty good. You know.
At the valves?
And they came out and fixed them, but really didn't understand why it was having the issues that it was having. So it wasn't like a common issue that they've seen in other tractors like that, the same year and model. So.
And are we're limited to buying New Hollands, or can we buy
You
any?
can buy anything. It's just, you know, we had that one, which.
And we're keeping the backhoe. That's the other thing. We're keeping the backhoe, so.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So are we getting the snow blower and the other attachments that were in that quote, or no?
Well, they were quoted separately. So the attachments were as options, and yes, I'm getting the snow blower. I will be getting the snow blower, the
Aerator and the
battery
washer.
aerator, yes,
Is this snow blower front or rear?
front mount.
So I was, maybe I misunderstood the quote. I thought the quote, and maybe it wasn't clear. I thought they were giving us 18,000 for the tractor, 22,000 for the backhoe, and we were getting the, no, okay.
No.
Okay, no.
But what might have been misunderstanding or misleading too was Clinton Tractor added at the bottom of their quote for the tractor, the costs for the three other implements.
Yeah, and showed a trade-in for the
Yeah,
backhoe.
but the trade-in for the tractor with the front loader was 18, with the backhoe would have been 22.
Okay, now I see it, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was odd how they wrote that.
Yeah.
So Kevin,
I had decided to hang on to the backhoe.
are you going to come back to us then for those other purchases? They're not here tonight.
Right, yes. So I'll get those quoted from other companies as well, and when I'm ready to purchase those, come
So,
back.
and I don't pretend to be all that smart about these things, but I just did this with my tractor, and you're sure you want a front-mounted snow blower because you got to take your loader off to use it. You're not going to have the
Right.
loader while you're
Right.
doing that, and you got to hook it up to a mid-mount PTO. So you're ready
Right.
to do all of that.
That tractor has a mid-mount PTO.
Yep.
It would be wintertime use only.
So you don't see yourself moving piles of snow with your
No,
loader?
the snow blower should, the snow blower should replace the need for that,
Okay.
for that bucket. If it's done right, whether it's Mary or Jim, whoever's doing it, if they keep up with it, they should be able to snow blow the parking lot and the trail as opposed to using the bucket. And using the bucket, I watched Jim this winter, it took way too long with the bucket.
And like we talked, the Clinton Tractor or the rep will come out and train our people in how to properly use all of that
Yes.
equipment. Yeah.
Hook it, unhook it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Okay. May I have a motion to authorize the name change from Jerry Hull, Highway Superintendent, to Ken Sweetek, Highway Superintendent, on the Town of Lysander procurement policy?
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, as I was looking through our procurement policy, I saw that that wasn't changed. We didn't do that in our organizational meeting, so I wanted to make sure ours was accurate, so that's why that's being done. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. As I said earlier, motion F, we deleted that. Motion G, to accept the resignation letter of Richard Shader from the position of MEO effective March 19, 2022. He's retired.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Yeah, I was wondering if we didn't get that, did he have to stay?
Now let him go.
I think Rick had, I know Rick had over 30 years of, with the town. I think it was somewhere around 34 years, and we're losing a good employee, but as Mr. Sweetek said, we have a replacement who seems to be working out pretty well right now, but we wish Mr. Shader a happy retirement.
Thank you for your years of service.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Okay, motion H. May I have a motion to authorize the expenditure of up to $3,500 from the buildings project budget to replace flooring in the highway garage office space?
I'll move it.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Motion I, to authorize the supervisor to sign the contract with Visual Technologies in the amount of $38,182 to update the AV system in the auditorium with a down payment for the initial, with a 50% down payment for the initial purchase of the equipment.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? So just so the audience knows, what this will do is we're going to update all of our equipment in the auditorium. We'll be able to do streaming, we'll be able to do training in here, and a multitude of other things. Correct, Mr. Yeager? Okay, so any further discussion?
I just want to add, it'll help visually with planning board and town board and any other meetings that we have moving forward when we get the equipment.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. Motion J, to authorize, may I have a motion to authorize the town clerk to request a special study for the length of Rabbit Lane, special speed study. Special speed study for the length of Rabbit Lane in the town of Lysander.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I don't see any reason for an executive session tonight, so it's 7:24. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.